live. 2. Chat active. Top chat. Live chat. Yay! That's terrible. Come on. That's too depressing. Hey, Alex! Just realised I forgot to put in my usual thing an hour ago because I was asleep. Hey, Blacktooth! Hey, Ben! Oh, my weekend sleep. It wasn't in my bed, no, I was just up late last night partying. And actually, I don't actually have Bucky tonight. What I do have is a wee bit of vodka that was left over when I had toothache. So I'm going to have a wee vodka and Coke. It's not a very big bottle, that. I did not work out, it was like £2 a drink, which I suppose if you look at it's the same price as a can of rock. Half the price of the can of Coke. I don't know, seems a bit... Hey, Mr. Whitesnake. As I said, it ain't a real live stream, but we're drinking fucking... Voddy and Coke. That's probably I just made that far too weak. Oh, see how I got on. Oh. Yeah, that'll do it. It's got a bit of booze in it. Right, so as I said there, seems everyone's in. Ceremony is about to begin. I've been raving about these pickups that you get in Temu. And then, I don't know if any of you've looked. Basically, I was looking this morning. There's no pickups left on Temu. There's none. They've got like some remaining ones, as if there's some blanket ban on. There's like... Normally when you type on guitar pickup, there's pages and pages of all the different colour ones and copies of everything. There's just none. Something's happened. Hey Bigsby, yeah, I literally did set my alarm to. Yeah, I literally just, I nearly fell asleep. It was one of those violent falling asleeps, but you just go boom. That right? Set my alarm. It was that. Had to be a wee sleep. Because I was trying to buy more of these pickups. I think I just want to put these in everything now. But what I was actually trying to buy in Temu was, well, possibly, yeah. It's like, yeah, you haven't bought all the three-way switches, though, because they did have three-way switches. So I ended up having to go to AliExpress to get a bass pickup and acoustic bass strings. But apparently Amazon's the same. There's no cheap... There's some legal wrangle in principle somewhere. I don't know if it's something to do with this Fender lawsuit. I've not seen anyone talking about this online. The thing is, it's like there's not very much to a pickup, so I think these are probably the same as somebody's buying them. I don't know, Wilkinsons or Warmans or whatever. Just like, or these are just the same ones that they put into the £1,000 Chinese built whatever guitars. You know what I mean? It's like, I just think one of the things about pickups is it's not that difficult to get good ones, really. It's just like a magnet and a wire, so if you use the right kind of magnet and wrap the right kind of wire around it the right amount of times, that's you kind of got it. Maybe obviously there's a research and development thing. I'm not taking anything away from all your Fluence ones and all things where people are trying to do different things, but if you just copy the DiMarzio Super Distortion, it's like, I don't think it's that difficult. Got loads of pickups, but real good apart from one fail where they sound a bit meh. I wonder if I've not had any ones, but I don't know. I've had ones that were, I think, the wrong kind of pickup. The Invaders are amazing, yes. They're not as good as these ones though. I like these ones. There's also a couple of weeks ago, last time I looked, there was two options. These you got like a powerful set and a not powerful set, so it's like different magnet ratings. You're like, oh, and it wasn't a case of. I think the neck's the same, so you get like an 8K neck, but you also get an 8K bridge or a 16K bridge, depending on which way you wanted it round, which I quite like. It's DB0. I still think there's an awful lot more to the pickup being of the correct type rather than being a particularly good version of that type. If you like the sound of your active EMGs or whatever, then. But if you don't like that, it's not what you want. That's what I mean. This guitar, literally, it's so much better than it was with those DiMarzio stacked in it, because it just didn't have the ping that you need from single coils. It's just the real. It's got a high end, which just isn't there with stacked guitars. Poor mounting holes. Well, yeah, it's a bit true. Yeah, and they're a bit bendy. But again, I did get to the point of, I remember slagging off people, well, what's the point in having the guitars and putting the same pickups in all of them? Yeah, you don't really want to do that, but I mean, it's like, I don't know, I've kind of justified it because I have my HH Strat. It's one of those ones, I always like the idea of an HH Strat, like a proper HH Strat, but if you're going to buy a Gibson Les Paul, you don't buy the P90 one. Square pickups have hardly any wire on them that sound okay. Yeah, I mean, no, I think, especially if you're talking modern, I think you kind of almost have to intentionally try and make pickups a bit shit. I don't think, I think the difference between making like this pickup and making the cheapest pickup you can, I don't think's that much. If you know what I mean, it's like, I don't know, this maybe costs 50 pence to make. But how cheap can you make it? Well, we can make it for 48 pence, but it won't work. So there's kind of no point in making the ones that don't work. I think they kind of did that with Samick, the old Epiphones. The pickups on them were truly awful. I mean, if you've got like a 90s Samick Epiphone, amazing guitar, but I 100% guarantee these pickups are so much better. The ones that were in it were like intentionally shit. My theory is that you would go into the shop and you would try the Epiphone at 200 quid and you would try the Gibson at 600 quid. And if you put these pickups in the Epiphone, it's going to sound nearly exactly the same as a Gibson. So you got to put shit ones in. But I think even more so, these ones that you buy separately. So if you're buying £100, that's where it comes in. That's where a lot of these brands do have an advantage, where they're sitting there and they don't have a high-end guitar that they want to keep you away from. So it's like, here we do a £100 version of our Fender Strat, and we also do a £1,000 version. So maybe you're going to be able to tell the difference that, but you're going to be able to tell the difference between like a £200 and a £400 one. You got to make it sound better, especially for a beginner. If you're a beginner, not really going to sound any different whether you're paying like a reasonably set up whatever the cheapest Squire is and a middle price Squire. Just going to look different. Hey Sean, you like both Duncan and DiMarzio. EMG is always good. I think it just depends on which ones. I think you can have the wrong pickups. Like you can have whatever these are. These are just DiMarzio super distortion type clones, but I think if you wanted pickups from DiMarzio, you could get ones that I don't like, like the sort of jazzy ones or the really powerful metal ones. But that's just because that's not the type of pickup I like. I'm pretty sure you can get a Seymour Duncan that's basically the same output as it's basically exactly the same as a DiMarzio Super Distortion and vice versa. I bet you can get like a DiMarzio that's basically it'll just be one of the other letters that's exactly the same as their slash Duncan 59 or whatever, all that stuff. That Leo James I got. I was really surprised to not have to replace the pickup. I don't think I've seen the Leo James. A lot to do with pots and caps too, I think. Maybe not. I don't think there's really that much difference if you've got an expensive B500 volume pot or a cheap B500 volume pot. I don't think that really makes any difference. But if it's the wrong type of thing, you often got alpha pots in them. If you've got alpha pots, it's like they're not value because the cheapest one to buy is an A500s because I think they just make more of them. So you get guitars that are all A500s and really in a normal Strat, none of them should be A500. You should have a B250 and two A250s. So that makes a much bigger difference going from, they're all A500s to they're all still cheap, but the correct pots. That's a bigger difference than going from the correct pots to CTS or Switchcraft or whatever. They're not going to make any difference to the sound. No expenses amps in the range. Yeah, well, that was a thing. You don't want to scare off because you know what? It doesn't matter how much into guitar you are. You know that if you're looking at like a £300, just looking at the shop, the £300-400 Squire, whatever it is, and the £1,500 version of it is custom wound. That one is much nicer. You can tell by looking at them which one it is, no problem. But if you're at a gig, listen to it and watch it. You don't. It's not going to make any difference at all to people watching you or what you're thinking. There's nothing you can do on the expensive one that you can't do on the cheap one. Like to the point of give Eric Clapton or Jimi Hendrix the cheap one and you play the expensive one and wonder who's going to sound better. You know what I mean? Pure Valve video? Is that what you got? You managed to get a Valve webcam? Well done. Good, yeah. I'm getting better. I'm getting better here as well. I'm just like I'm really struggling with having. It's like I'm turning into Blacktooth Malk. I lost some teeth and I can't speak properly. I'm getting dentist work and I'm really conscious about not being able to say sausages. And it's not. It shouldn't annoy me that much, but I'm really conscious about when I'm talking to people, and I'm oh. I did see the Monkey SG. The Chinese I've had him before. I think you find it. That's. Hey Dave, you got a gas webcam. Well done. Yeah, no, it's like. But the Chinese pickups will be brilliant. It's a very easy thing to upgrade. The thing is, if you go back to, say, something like... Well, no, the Ancors aren't that bad, though. If you go back to a certain era of guitar when there were the cheaper ones that... I'm thinking of... See, when you get someone was selling a Japanese Squire. Actually, it was the Fender Squire series one, and it wasn't that expensive. I thought it was... It was 300 quid or something like that. It's like I quite like the way it was a Fender Squire rather than being a Squire by Fender. It was the other way around. The hardware and that sort of stuff's pretty shit. I was actually fixing my pal's Japanese jazz bass and it had tiny pots in it. And it's funny that thing was like when they were still trying to make cheaper guitars in Japan, they compromised on how expensive the hardware was. They did not compromise on the build quality. So the thing about these ones is the Squire Silver series and all that, the neck and the body are brilliant. It's all been assembled and set up brilliantly. But it's totally, you go out in Temu and get like a set of £10 tuners. That's an upgrade. You can upgrade the pickups, you can upgrade the pots. And you're actually not just replacing worn bits, but you're actually upgrading all the hardware for like 20 quid on a guitar like that, and but it's totally worth it. It's like the exact opposite of having a Harley Benton and then putting Seymour Duncans in it. It's like you've got something that's shit, let's put some more. You've got something that's amazing, but is let down. 6 super sexy Strats, yeah. See, to be honest, I'm obviously a lifelong Black Sabbath fan here. See, when the Monkey SG came out, like when the Gibson one came out, I was talking to my pal about this earlier on, was it 15 grand or 12 grand or whatever it was when that came out? Monkey? What? I'd never noticed or had never heard about this SG that had the Monkey on it. I'd never seen the Monkey before. I knew he played an old SG, and then I remember reading somewhere that was the same guitar that did like the first 6 albums, just that one, before he got John Birch to make him another one. But it was like I'd never heard or seen of the Monkey. So there you go. You can actually get the jet. I remember I was going to build one out of a vintage, but it's the neck angle's not quite right, so you can't get the. I got John Birch pickup rings, who've now gone under, but actually I've got John Birch pickup rings which take the P90s. Afterwards, I would get they don't have them in Temu anymore, but I did buy chrome P90 covers. Just keep the pickups, put the chrome P90. You could even get an engraving thing and write on it Hyperflux, so look like the real thing. 75 quid. I know, but I mean, the thing is, it just looks that way. Hey, Raging Kane. Yeah, this is JPAC's number 1 that I've just put. I've now actually got working. So I put proper pickups in it, or ones that I liked, not the ones that were very expensive with all the most expensive parts, just cheap shite. It didn't exist until they said, well, I mean, yeah, well, no, but there are, if you look at it in the picture, there are pictures and you see there's a wee monkey playing a fiddle on, there is that sticker, but I'd never heard it called the Monkey guitar. Then again, I didn't buy guitar magazines. I was talking about this the other day in a video. At the time when I was learning to play the guitar, a guitar magazine was like a $5, and it was like I was buying 8 records for a $5. So, and the guitar magazine would have maybe a couple of bands I was sort of into, but lots of stuff I didn't like. So I just bought records. So I'd never really got to see any pictures of anything. Add some screws, yeah, totally. Actually, Craig and the Sabbath band got some John Birch pickups, like pure hand soldered and stuff like that. For a Westbury Deluxe, nice. You just broke a tooth. I think you're gonna have to sell it to pay for the dentist. That's awful. Yeah, but yes, the thing about the Chipson thing is, it's like there are some of them are brilliant, but the thing is, there's ones that are I've seen ones that are like Harley Benton's, and it's that whole thing about if it just said Chipson on it, I would buy one because that's cool. It's just like, just call it fucking Chipson. Do you know what I mean? If anyone really wanted to, it's that this whole fakey bakey thing. But obviously the thing is that anyone who's going to get ripped off, it's people that are being greedy. You know, it's like pure. Oh no way! I can't. I know something about guitars. I've heard of a Gibson Les Paul. There's somebody selling a Gibson Les Paul. They want £1,000 for it. That's the £5,000 custom shop model. They're pure. I bet you I could make an absolute killing in this. I'll buy your guitar for £1,000, thank you. And then it's like, oh no, these cost £150 brand new. Oh, but it's greediness. A Hodgson. I don't know if I know him. SG's a great. I was actually thinking of digging out my red SG. Someone's selling one. It's very rarely you see the Ferrari red one. Someone on Facebook Marketplace is selling one. I was looking at it. It was only £700. I thought, I'm sure. I thought they were worth more than that. His was a 96. That from the Good Wood era or whatever it was. There's that. And I looked at the picture and it was just like, mine's got the ebony neck. And boy, does the red and the black look better with the ebony neck rather than the rosewood. So mine's earlier. Mine's like an 80s one. I know this is 21 frets. Do you have like that? It seems to be the idea. I've never played a 21 fret. Usually 22, 24 throw me off. The reason for that is because back at the start of Fender Japan, they made 2 necks. They made the first reissues Fender ever did were Japanese ones. So this is a I can't remember. It's a 62. It's written on. It's like an STD 62 or an STD 58. I can't remember which one it is. Is what this model is. So it is like a up till this point, Fender had never looked back apart from because the Japanese market they wanted ones that were the same as the original one. So that's why it's 21 fret. I'm very rarely ever up that high. The thing is, there's enough room for this at 22nd fret. You just need to overhang a wee bit. But I don't know why I chose 21. The Gibson owners like to say the world is better than the real deal. Yeah, but it's the thing. I remember just seeing it. This is going back when I first joined the internet. There was a guy like, oh, what I do is I've got this great system to get a pure amazing guitar. What you do is you buy the cheapest Squire, right, telly, because it's really good, and then you buy the Tex-Mex pickups and proper. So he's buying a guitar for 150 quid and then spending £500 on parts to put on it, and then saying like that, yeah, so this cost me a grand total of 650. Look, and it shows you the picture of the American one that's 1,100 quid, and it's like, but it's got the same hardware on it, and it's like, it's not the same thing. But I mean, if you did it and believed it, I suppose if you believe it, that's all you need to know. But I mean, it's that whole thing, I'll put Gibson pickups in it. Don't put it, what? I get putting pickups like this in it. Yeah, totally. Replace the pickups and put in whatever the, or even to go to the point of going, I'll put in a bit better, maybe go Wilkinson Warman, spend £20 each, £40 and pick up something like that. But when it comes to putting Seymour Duncan's in it, what, you actually going to play the thing? Or do you just want it to... I used to own one of the 1990s John Birch Iommi SGs, the black one with the crucifix thing was an absolute bag of shite. Well, I was wondering about that. I remember, I'm pretty sure I've seen a John Birch guitar and it wasn't expensive and it was kind of... custom shop Fender's really bloody cheap at the moment. Really a depressed market at like 2k easy to find. Like a 10 grand axe. Is it worth it though? I don't know. So I mean, yes, but that's where it comes in. Is like it's good value. It's like, I'm just not saying that I don't think a £2,000 guitar would really be any different from something like this. Really. Each guitar is an individual wood that can be optimised to your taste with knowledge and experience. Yeah, well, totally. But I suppose, but it's not optimised to your taste unless you actually custom order. I don't know. Maybe. Even just the difference between this, I've been playing that wee Encore, and this has got the clip on it so I can take the wee battery thing. And I took it out and wore it to Jen's yesterday or the day before, and I was carrying it. I was carrying something else, and I dinked the neck, and it's like that. So it's not the same as the wee Encore. This is suddenly like, oh, it can be damaged. Whereas I've probably bashed the Encore off the wall 100 times, but never really noticed. Whereas this one, you're like, oh, but this is a 1988 Fender Japan neck. Oh. Put some locking tuners of it. A genuine early 70s John Birch SG. Honestly, it's not a great guitar. You can tell it was when they were working out what they were doing. I think it was maybe the idea, maybe trying to make a viable, not being like a luxury brand. They were trying to make a viable electric guitar that you could buy that was a competitively priced, blah 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 blah, all that stuff, rather than being, like now if anyone's going to start a guitar company in Britain, that they're producing hand-built, probably Strat and Telly copies, hand-built in a shed in England or Scotland or wherever it is. But I don't know. I was going to say I was going to buy I remember there used to be a guy at Clachanna-Campsie, which is just at the bottom of the Campsies. I remember going in there one time just when I started playing the guitar. There was a guy making acoustics in there, and it was, I think his cheapest acoustic was 900 quid or £1,000, and I could not understand how anyone would go in and spend £900 or £1,000 on like a Gibson or a Fender in the shop where you could get one that guy there made at the bottom of the Campsies for you. Gone under now. Actually, it was replaced by a bike shop, and that's what reminded me, because I saw a bike earlier on and it was made in Clachanna-Campsie in the same unit that used to make. Well, different people, but same unit. Our guitar mark, I'm just trying to... The 10 keys are not worth it. The market use clearly shows. Yeah, I thought so. I know. It's funny when if you'd said it though, I would have got the inflections just when you're reading text. Yes. Well, I mean that's where it comes in. I mean this. I've now got Temu pickups. This was an unbranded strap body, and it's just because it's the first one Jen painted that I managed to nab. And just put the best neck I could find on it. And it's again, the argument is, I mean, this is arguing, okay, you're going to be able to tell the difference between like a Squire neck or, like a Harley Benton neck and a custom shop. But this one, this is like the Japanese Fender, and it is 40 years old, and obviously I've worked it to fuck, and it's got wear because it's old and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, I'm not sure if you had this exact neck on your Fender custom shop at $5,000, I'm not sure you would be annoyed about it. You'd be like that. Oh yeah, this. Oh, look, it feels. Oh, there's a dink there in the back. Whoa, this is It's a 24 frets. The pickup's almost touching. You've got to stretch to the next turn over and get the first fret. It's crazy, but I love it. All right, it sits like that. Okay, got it. Hey, Bigsby, just gone. I don't know. I the one you always see, was it called a Gypsy? It was kind of like a double Les Paul, a wee bit like the Hondo double cutaway. It was just like the horns weren't cool enough looking, but they did do an SG. And I remember when I first started playing the guitar, so this would be like 1998 or something like that. And you could get Gordon Smith. They were about £500, and they had an SG, and it was just that 5% longer horns and pointier and more evil looking than the Gibson, and it didn't have a scratch plate. And I remember seeing it at the time and thinking you could get the Gordon Smith one, which kind of looked like the Gibson Standard a bit more, for 500, and at that price you could get the Gibson SG Special in black or red with a plastic on it, and it was like a 700 for the Gibson. So I always thought that the Gordon Smith one looked the best of the three of them, but they never. Unless I kept seeing the same one, or maybe they made it for like 2 years, so I kept seeing it in the first 2 years I was playing the guitar. I've not seen one since, or maybe people don't sell them. Hey, Slody, you still got that G-Fuss? I had one made inside a landlord hairy tongue. You like it? It does the clean up. The G-Fuss, the wee Temu pedal. I think that's the only I don't know. I've got that. That stopped working. That sounded fucking amazing, and then it stopped working. I need to try it again. I think it's maybe very susceptible to how much power it's getting, or something like that. Northampton. I think was it Manchester they were made. Yeah, Bigsby. Jimmy Moon's the best Scottish guitar maker. I have actually played. It was, imagine, it's probably got a Gibson model. Imagine a 335, but it was through neck and not hollow. Didn't have F-holes on it. It was just a solid body. I played one of them. Wasn't that expensive. My pal bought it and sold it. I think it. When I say it wasn't that expensive, it wasn't a few hundred. I think it was only like £750, but it was really nice. And if you compare that to a 335, I'd have a fucking Moon guitar. Got the Spitter Fuzz. I take it's the one with because the one the G Fuzz it is because it does have germanium diodes in it. Like when you look at it, you go, the thing that look a bit like a water tower. Like if you were making a miniature for like Star Wars, well not Star Wars, but you know what I mean. It was like that. I had a. I didn't own it. Who was it? I had a shot of. I'm trying to think why. Why did I have a shot of it? I don't think I did a video. It was like a, the Ibanez dark greeny blue burst, but it was a Les Paul. It was lovely. Not that, but because they're not known, if you can find one, they're not that expensive. Like, they're cheaper than what an Epiphone is now. If you can find one. Those are the guitars that are going to be worth a lot of money once they start appearing. Partington by John Smith pickups. Win by his wealth Linda. Stuart Adamson did it. Is that so? Does My man named John Lee Penny Ramone. And I played a mandolin that's made by Jimmy Moon. Because Malcolm went in there one day, and then when he was waiting for Jimmy Moon behind the counter, there was a poster of Steve Earle, and he was holding a mandolin, and written on it in black marker pen was, Jimmy Moon makes the best mandolins in the world, Steve Earle. So there you go. Well, that was, remember, I couldn't remember what it went like there. I don't know any Steve Earle apart from that song. I love the song, I've got the album, but this is not sounding very in tune, is it? Or I'm just, the Bucky doesn't, maybe the vodka's affecting me different than the Bucky does. Mind you, these strings have been on this for a year. But that's disgusting as well. Sitting there complaining at bed and it's like, the string should be new. Oh, aye, it's optimised. Oh, yeah, totally. Oh, it's got the most expensive pickups. Oh, yeah, no, I've got the most expensive pedal. No, I've got the most expensive amp. Yeah, totally. When was the last time you changed the strings? Last year. Yep. You spent your money sensibly. So the thing problem with these strings is because they've been sitting on this guitar for a year, hanging up there, they're kind of used to being in a very... It probably is in drop D. Yeah, cool. I'll just tread water Blacktooth till you get back. Yeah, so got a video of the first time I've ever got a shot of a Squier Jaguar bass. I remember nearly buying one before, but it was suspiciously cheap. They weren't that much new when they came out, but I much prefer having the bottle. I don't like having the glass of Coke. Jimmy Moon put a Floyd Rose on my Kramer 250. It's got an aluminium neck like the Travis Beat. Oh, nice. I remember there being a Kramer kicking about. I've seen it more than once. It was like a Flying V bass. But the only thing about it wasn't symmetrical, and it was, I think it was headless. No, it wasn't headless. It had the proper Kramer aluminium headstock with the two prongs. And I remember it being like, it was like 250 quid, and I didn't buy it. And it was just, I remember thinking, for that money, I could almost take the neck off it and then put it onto like a proper Flying V. I just could never deal with it off the uneven Flying V. It's just like, no, it's got to be symmetrical. It doesn't look right. But it's just, I'm going to have to do that comparison with that in the Bronco, because the Bronco's got some problems when it's not perfect bass, and that one, it just kind of does. It's been painted though, so it's a bit psychedelic for when I've been drinking. Recently found a new guitar with a guitar nut buster. It's a floating locking nut that fits on every guitar I've tried so far. A floating locking nut. Huh? Changing strings is like changing underwear. Ain't got time for that. Well, basically, changing strings is like string geometry. Basically, see if you kind of loosen them and then give them a straight and then tune them back up again. Good for another week. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what a floating locking nut would do. How could it be floating and locking? Like something that sits like a Floyd Rose clampy type thing. No, I don't know what that is. But it sounds interesting. The thing that I can't live without is the wee amp that plugs into the front of the guitar. Honestly, they've still got them in Temu, even though there's no guitar pickups. Honestly, go into Temu and type in humbucker pickup or guitar pickup, and it just comes up with books on music and other things that aren't guitar pickups. Right, I know. The thing was it not Vivian from the Young Ones? It's like pure. It was that taught him the trick of if you could basically, by turning your underpants inside out, you could extend the wear time by 2 weeks. Yep. Yeah, so I kind of stole that joke. So yesterday was I watched a video the other day on mountain biking. It was like the 10 things I wish I'd known before I started. I'm sitting in. It was like, yeah, don't wear a cotton t-shirt. Like, all right, because it gets like sweaty and shit. And it was like, fair enough, it kind of does. Because I notice it's very, because you're kind of quite cold, then you heat it up. It's like you have to unzip and then back up again. So I was in a charity shop. It was I bought like a fucking stupid spandex cycling jumper thing for £2. Like, but that's that fucking. It's not cotton. It's wicking material, whatever it is. And then I bought that, and then ended up buying a red one next to it. And then I ended up buying fucking. There was a big bucket of stuff for £1 that was kind of going in the bin in this charity shop. Jen was rifling through it. Oh, look, there's cycling shit. I was like, got a blue one, and so I ended up with like 5 cycling jumpers. I can't remember what my point was going to be there, but yeah, I got a bit carried away. Oh, the underpants thing. Yeah, the other thing I was saying is that buying cycling shorts, the ones that have got I've seen them in Temu, like a baboon's ass type padding shit on them. There's that, and obviously no underpants. It's like just like the thing. I'd never really. It made it sort of worse when you think of those spandex bastards out there, wrapped in spandex on the road. You know what I mean, with all the those sunglasses, you know, the type and all that, and they're not. They're like pure. Oh, I'm pure in their pants with their padding rubbing against their naked undercarriage, while all the cars are ruining everyone's day. They're just like, yeah, fuck you all. Haha, yes, I know there's a fucking path over there, but I'm on the road because I'm legally allowed to be. Bastard. I rubbed down my wire wheel. Yes, exactly. It just amazes me. You shouldn't do that, but I do that. Wear the spandex in extreme, yeah. I mean, see, the Bucky jumper spandex, yeah, so I'm not against spandex as a thing. It's more I think it's obviously now I realise that it's the spandex pant, trouser short things, and then it's the padding and the no pants, and then it's the funny shoes that you can't really walk in because they've got clip things that clip onto the pedals, and then you got to have to have the wraparound. Yeah. So basically, I'm just thinking more along the lines of I bought like 6. I think it was maybe a tenner. I got 6 or 8, whatever it was, of these wicking t-shirts, which are kind of like skin tight t-shirts, which I can just wear in below other clothes, and then. Oh, Wirewheel for your gusset. Yeah, Wirewheel and Dettol, that's a classic. Thrushwood, fuck, we're going to call it a charity shop as well. You just boil wash them. They're all steamed. But yeah, Wirewheel and Dettol, what was it? I'm sure there's a joke about. I'm sure it's a Billy Connolly joke as well. I'll just have the other half of the vodka, fuck it. I've got some Fireball whiskey as well, for fixing my pals. Am I going to get to it, that? Yes, but the problem is I'm just used to having, any time I ever did drink a vodka, and that would be 20 years ago, you're just get rid of it as quickly as possible. I've no idea how much there is actually meant to be in a drink. Padded cycling are fantastic when you're still building up your bum muscles. You can wear your scanties. It's like, but I'm probably just not hanging about with enough girls, but I have never heard the term scanty before, because obviously I would never. It's like the difference between pants and panties. Pants are for a guy, panties are for a girl. Like, is that yeah? So you Americans, these are trousers, not pants. Pants are underpants, and that's yeah. I don't. To be honest, well, I think I'm not going out on the bike long enough with the bum muscles. I don't know. I think maybe scants. I've heard scants totally. I've heard scants. I totally. But they're. I've never heard scanties. Scanties, panties with skid marks. Yeah, see, it's the skids. Of course it is. I'd never really put it like that. It's like I was going to say. I was thinking. But scants are like we've got skid marks, but that's where the SK comes from, isn't it? You learn something new every day. In saying that, you're not gonna like this. When I was in those charity shops yesterday as well, I bought a Idiot's Guide to Music Theory book for 50p. Thinking, well, to be honest, thinking I've read the Viz books that are in the box, so I'll just look at that. And I'm reading at the start, and it's fascinating. There's an awful lot of things. It's like, instead of, sometimes when you go in to investigate something, like when I was looking at the bikes, I look into bikes, and the more I looked at it, the more there was, and fuck this, can't be bothered. I thought music was going to be like that, but reading this, it's like, oh no, I kind of know that. Oh no, I kind of know what that. There's not as much as you think, as much as I thought. It's like, it turns out I kind of know most of it. I just don't know what it's called. Fireball, bad memories of drinking that stuff. It's place Idaho and a mechanical. Oh dear, in the buff as well. Oh, sorry. That comes from the only time I've ever really heard of that. I remember I was at the co-op, so I must have been about 16 or something. There was a wee guy and he'd gone to blah blah blah, and his sister, it was like, he was there with his, like, a group of his pals, and then there was his sister. Apparently the birds got a free go on the mechanical bull if they did it on the buff, and that was his sister done it like that, or his pal's sister was there at the flying seaman. Okay, but yeah, totally. The thing is, you could maybe see, I do own a tarp, but I've got a boat as well, so that's my excuse. I've worn out several tarps. Yep, literally I have. Put me on the lie detector. You know what I mean? I have, yeah, but for my boat, padded cycle, old nightmares back for those years. Felt like wearing a diaper, but okay, comfortable in the racing. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. As you're looking at it, I was thinking when someone talked about something, eventually you'll just get to aero. And then it's one of those things, when you hear a word, and then it kept coming up, this aero thing, which to be honest, I did notice when I was cycling along the canal the other day, into the wind, obviously, and I've got the guitar on my back. See, if I kind of leant forward, it did make pedaling easier because there was less wind resistance, because it wasn't into like. So, I think that, that's the whole spandex thing, and then you end up getting your bike that's dead thin and stuff. I don't know. Not worth it. Hey, how far away from the farm Paul and Linda McCartney lived at, where I am just now? A fair bit away, but where I've been to there in my boat. If you could take a helicopter, it's probably 20 miles in a straight line, but you have to go along and up around Campbelltown and all that. It's a good, I don't know, it's a good 3 hours drive or something like that, but it's because you have to go up and round lots of lochs. Had my clothes on, not bad for Idaho, yeah. I mean, the thing is, Idaho, it's like, just saying, I felt a wee bit like when I was in Pennsylvania. It's like, I was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it's like, I could say absolutely about anything about that place now because no one's ever heard of it. It's like, woo, pretty exciting. Apart from when I went on and it was fucking, is it Scott from Baltimore or something up here? I don't know, if someone else was up here, I put a random live stream. What are you doing? So, where are you? And he's like, up here, I'm only 2 hours upstate. Right, well, I'm on the other side of the world. Woo. Into the things, I'll give it another month top. She'll be one of those cyclists. I can't, Jeff. It's like, I like the Wicked t-shirt. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't want to go there. The thing is, you just look at it and it's, what's the point? How much further can I go? And the problem is kind of the same thing that happened with if you've got like a boat. It's like once you get the boat to be too big, it's like you can't go far enough away to fully use it. You know what I mean? So you're about 60 miles from there. Really, is it that far? See, I'm just thinking, is it not about 10 miles from me into the centre of Glasgow, and then about 10 miles from Glasgow to? Yeah, I suppose then you get 10 miles from Glasgow to Dunoon, and then you kind of go, okay, maybe it's a wee bit more than that. Does he still own it now? He up till a few years ago, he had it up for sale a few years ago. I think his brother, has been looking after it forever. I mean, I think there's a bit of a the in the Mull of Kintyre beach video where there's a wee cottage and stuff. That wasn't the house. That was the wee cottage on the beach from the house that was much bigger and nicer. Oh, so your van still? Oh no. Well, I suppose at least you can get the. Well, is it fixed? I suppose go to pick it up. So it's not picking it up's not the problem, is it? Yeah, but I have been to Campbelltown. Have it? Yes, I can picture Campbelltown. I can't remember why I was there. I've never been there by boat. And I have sang Mull of Kintyre on the beach with the Mull of Kintyre behind me when we were camping. Unfortunately, the reason that video never went up on YouTube and like this, it was a good few years ago, I'd found a hat. I don't know where it came from, but it was like a bit like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man hat, like a sailor type hat. And because we were out the boat, I was wearing this sailor hat, and everyone was kind of laughing at me and stuff. I didn't realise until I saw that video, I just totally looked pure camp as fuck with it. So I've never put the video out, but it's like, I thought it was cool wearing like an old Russian type hat, but it just totally made it was just like a pure village people hat. Yeah, so that's why that never happened. But I was playing Mull of Kintyre. Mull of Kintyre. I visited your YouTube channel and saw you're working hard on your YouTube. You sound very AI. Uploading 2.8k videos, but your videos and stuff are not growing. Yeah, it's because I can't be bothered doing it. I'm just doing it for fun. I'm very aware that there are ways of doing it, but if it came down to having to edit it and do what other people wanted, I wouldn't bother doing it. So, got to see the Scottish. Are they just called Scottish Pink Floyd? What was that I heard? It was another good tribute band. Oh, Ronnie mentioned it earlier. It was a good tribute band name. And I came back with Ife Clyro. What was it? Oh, it was an Irish band. An Irish version of Toto. You can imagine just Tato. But like with the red thing. Hey, Mr. Bassman, how's it going? Thanks. What are knocks? Make look a little Elizabeth's a tenner. Cheers very much, thanks. I do still have stuff to buy from Temu. It's just annoying that I can't buy these pickups anymore, but I need to get 3-way switches. In my video, yeah, totally, I know that, but I'll just leave it at that. I know what I'm not doing. I don't want to do that. Kinloch Kilkerran is the original name for Campbelltown. I did not know. Kinloch Kilkerran. Would they see the RRAN? Would that be like the RRAN from Aaron as well? The Tour de France is like, we went to posing Kirkcaldy with an SG. If you get to like, people are all running around with tennis rackets because of Wimbledon. All right, okay. No, I suppose you could have a tennis racket. No, I watched a thing, like, obviously, you don't type in mountain biking and then just, watch it. YouTube just tells you what to watch. So I was watching it and it was, I can't remember, it was just what utter cheating bastards, like the Tour de France is. It's like fucking... What was it? Even this is going back at the start. It was fucking ridiculous, and it was like the guy get done because he was 2 hours quicker than anyone else. And it turned out he got a train for the last bit, and you're like, right. And then it was like, but the thing was that like the next 18 people who were like, whatever it was, an hour behind him. He'd got turned out the guy who was first had got 2 trains, but the rest of the top 20 had all got a train in the middle bit at the start, and you're like, fuck's sake! And then it's like just drugging it and folk putting like the hollowing out the frame. This is more recent years. It's like hollowing out the frame of the bike and stuffing it with batteries, so you've got like a wee battery boost thing that gives you an extra 10% boost. And this is still going on just now. These folk have won, and there was a guy who was like the support car, just like literally just at the bit where the TV cameras were, all the teams would come up with the support cars and the riders would be holding on to the wing mirror getting towed up the hills. And this is the fucking Tour de France, the one bike race I've ever heard of, or anyone's ever heard of. Mental. Campbelltown used to have the most distilleries. Probably, yeah. It's kind of mental though. I mean, I think you can get flats in Campbelltown really, really fucking cheap, or you used to be able to anyway. But it's very, very far away. I was thinking, it was like, see when you're talking about going to Sucker, which if the chalet is, that's like an hour and a half. and you're Inverary, lovely out in the middle of nowhere. Campbelltown is just at the bottom of the loch, but you have to go all the way around the top, and the road's a pure bastard. It's another 2 hours to get. You know what I mean? You're 3/4 of the way there going to Strathclyde, but it only takes an hour and a half, and then the other third of the way takes longer. I ain't buying. It's like, no. To be honest, if it was somebody that said I'm a bit bored and I would like to help you, it'd have to be. I couldn't do it for anything. Thumbnails. Yeah, but that's the thing. I had to give a guy that was going to help me. And the thing was, and this is somebody I trust and I know, and he was absolutely loving. He started up his own wee. What was it? He was doing. He was spending the amount of time he was spending doing this as a hobby. He had like a. What do you call it? The Space Marines. What are the space? Remember the wee war? Was it Warhammer? Was it Warhammer? Was that the computer game? The thing was like Space Marines Games Workshop, that thing, and he was doing videos of like lore, because obviously these are Space Marines, blah blah, but they all come from a specific planet, and this is the politics of, I'm sure it's a whole big fucking thing. He was doing that, and it was taking him 2 weeks. He was just like, he was spending 10 hours editing this 4-minute long video, just talking about how when the Space Marines were first born, I don't know where he got all that shit from, and he was going to try to help me. He was like, once you get the hang of it, I can have you making like a pure top thumbnail in less than 15-20 minutes. And it's like, literally, honestly, the video took me 15 minutes to decide that I was going to do a video, to hit and stop. And then I just hit that. That's it. I don't want to spend the same amount of time just making a fucking picture. I just can't be bothered. Maybe I should just use AI, make me a thumbnail. No, come here, Meatballs Rock. Norway for Sweden in 50 minutes. Oh, well done, yeah, totally. I'm actually kind of miss most of Scotland's thing. I think Scotland, the Tartan Army did well, but I think Scotland didn't. But yeah, I'll go for from Sweden. Oh, so you want? You want? Is that you? You're from Sweden, and you want Norway to win? That's very nice. Really? Is that how it works? Yeah, but I'm just thinking it's that whole thing about, I don't know if it would work for, maybe it doesn't work the other way around, but if there was a thing that's like, would I be backing England? And it's like, no, I won't be backing England, but then again, that's different. I think it depends. It's like, your biggest enemy's the one next door, and it's like, would you be, who's basically, it's like, it's Brazil versus Wales, come on Wales, Brazil versus Ireland, come on Ireland, Brazil versus England, come on England. No, come on, Brazil. Would I feel the same way about any European team? To be honest, I'm so indifferent to football, I wouldn't care. But I would have any Wales or Ireland or Scotland against any other team, I would be going for them. Obviously, if it was Scotland v Wales, it'd be Scotland, but apart from that. Let us see the Temu pickups with the Temu Rat. That's easy to do, because they do still have the Temu Rat, but it's now 20 quid. I'm pretty sure I paid 8 for it. So here's your, this was thinking about Iron Maiden. Down and back to run you through. Like under mustard and I'll run you through. That you're waiting for the next attack, and nowhere there's no coming back. Oh, But to me as well, I know I wasn't really into Iron Maiden super early on, but to me, 2 demarginal pickups, Strat Iron Maiden. Potentially, whatever team's the best bumper play. Yeah, I mean, I was like, so I remember watching watching the. Was it the? I damn it, I did end up watching it for half an hour. It was at the beach volleyball. This is going back about beach volleyball, and it really was just a porno thing, and it was just like one of those like that. Pierre, so which team do you want to win? It's like that, Pierre. Oh, I'm just hoping it goes into extra time. I think that's a joke from Red Dwarf, actually. The English team isn't English. I don't know. They've always done that with. As I feel back to, was there not a 60s or something like that when Celtic nearly won some European championship? They probably didn't nearly win it. They probably got somewhere. And it was like it was a Scotland team, but it had like 9 Celtic players and then 1 Rangers player and 1 from Hearts. You know what I mean? But it was like they were all Scottish because back then the team, you weren't allowed to have foreigners, or I think there used to be a limit. You're only be allowed 1 or 2 foreigners in your team. I don't know. Yeah, but Musiano, the only thing I'll be contracted with any questions is how do I ban people from the live stream? I just can't be bothered. Because the thing is, because you're AI, you've not picked up the fact that normally if you were a real person, you would have gone, oh, he's ignoring me. My sports ball. Hakeem kicked that ball real good. Wow. Wait till it's into the swap jerseys. Yeah, I think that's... is that not the 9 o'clock news? Yes, I am all one for the pickups that were on this. It was like the cream aged type thing, and I was aware that I had to. I actually just bought this scratch plate new. I couldn't be bothered. I was trying to think of some way filling in and cutting it. It's just bad. It was only £2. But yes, I agree. The ice white, it's made the guitar much brighter looking. I like it. Oh, check out the balls. Yeah, Joachim, well done. So it's Norway you want to win. Go for it. Norway, the Viking. I don't know, just say, hopefully he's kind of contact me, I'll contact him. Oh, don't worry, Mizzy and promo. It's like, see the thing, promo kind of looks like porno, maybe I'm just seeing that in my head. Check out the balls, not the bums. I don't know, that's worse in some ways, you know what I mean? Because at least I suppose if you're looking at the bums, you could be pretty out there. I mean, these are athletes, you know what I mean? Some of the best athletes in the world, so you could pretend it was a woman's bum you were looking at, whereas you can't really think it's a woman's balls. I don't know. But I mean, that's like the whole thing. I would be in the same thing of if you were, I don't know, watching some, I don't know, like a Formula 1 race or like a rally thing. It's like, who do you want to win this thing? And you're looking at it and go like that, pure, well, I think the red and black stripy car looks pretty cool. Go for the red and black stripy car, you know what I mean? It's like, yep. Or whatever one looks the coolest. Not seen Kit Kats for weeks and weeks. That's probably a good thing. No, now I was here. Not last week, the week before. I've been off as well. I was had fucking problems, and it's like I don't really discuss it, but I was just knackered. It turned out that the doctor's right. It was a gastric pill, it was like indigestion shit. But so I'm now much better. But the reason I've been a bit shit is because as I said, I'm worried about I can't really enunciate properly. I'm so once I get my teeth fixed, I'll be a bit more. Once I've got used to it. You bought a DiMarzio quick kit. Oh, bastard. The DiMarzios will be worth more than the kind of, I mean, it's like... The thing is, though, Sloaney, I'm sitting there going like, you know, those DiMarzios, it's like... I need to do a proper shootout between these and the real ones, because I mean, I do actually have a set. I'm not talking about modern ones. I've got proper, back in the day when you got DiMarzio pickups. Oh, what DiMarzio did you get? DiMarzios did you get? The one for guitar, as opposed to the P-bass pickup. Or, what DiMarzios did you get? I got the single coil, right? Not, oh, I got, model 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of all the different types of humbuckers with different, no, you just got DiMarzio pickups. That was it, and that's... But I think I don't... It's like some things are not that difficult to reproduce really accurate, and pickups, it's like... It doesn't, obviously, it can't make any difference to the tone what the plastic bit is made of, right? That can't make any difference. Arguably, there's a metal base plate. Does it matter what kind of metal? It's just a piece of brass. Is like, can it be that much different? And then you've got, there's only 5 things that make it, so... And it can't even take any longer to do it better. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, the Fender, the American one costs £1,000 because they spend 10 times as long finishing the neck. Yeah, fair enough. Not with the pickups. You just fucking just wrap it round, seal it up, bang. Mental. Ages in a row for when eyebrows turn into pubes. Super Distortion, yeah, but they were never called Super Distortion. That was only when they brought out their second type of thing, which wasn't the Super Distortion. The one that was more the PAF, but originally it was just DiMarzio's. And then it was like, oh, we'll make one that's like a Les Paul. We'll call that the DiMarzio something else, and then we'll change that to SD. At least that's how I see it. Yeah, but Mr. Westick, I've not told you what happened to me when I was out the bike last week. The third one of these Ks, the intention of taking the pickups out. I know, it's once you know what they're there, but the metal base plate focuses a magnetic field back to base. Yeah, totally, but what I'm saying is I don't think it's difficult to copy that. Do you know what I mean? It's not gold or shit. It's like, I don't think, I mean, okay, it's like, I think is it brass, but I mean, to make the same type of brass that the real DiMarzio has is like, even how cheaply can you make the brass sheet? Maybe we could do it for 3 pence. What if we do it like for more expensively, like 5 pence? It's like... So I mean, I just think it's a very easy thing to copy. It's almost like you've got the formula. You know what I mean? If you were making, I don't know, you had the ingredients for, I don't know, Grandma's special soup. Yeah, maybe, and she was one of those people that measured shit. You could make Grandma's special soup. It wouldn't be Grandma's special soup, but it would be. She told you how to make it. You know what I mean? And again, the people who are not going to know, people who get Grandma's special soup, they've had it once before or a couple of years ago or a few times, they're not going to be able to tell the difference. Someone who's round every week, there's going to go, there's something different about that because every week for the last 10 years I've had that soup and this is different. They would know. Pickups are maths, not magic. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. That was a well, yeah, in an ascending diatonic fashion. It's another word I learnt. Reading that thing, I'll be able to say words that are great. I mean, things like, you kind of knew, like, augmented and diminished chords. It's not that difficult. It's like, see, you know when you're playing like a major chord, and then you note, and you change it to a minor? Right, that's, so that's going major to minor, but see if you're using one of the other notes. Right, so there's your A minor, and then you just augment. It's like you just basically, if it's augmenting, and if you slide one of the fingers up, that's A minor augmented something, and if you slide one of them down, that's diminished A minor. That's it. What? Mental. But I think there's a maths to music theory as well. I know a thing about that. It's like, did you know scales always have 8 notes in them? And even then, they don't. They really only get 7 because whatever it is, it goes A, octave above A. So, and then so basically, all scales are 8 notes that go from A to A. It's just different ways of going from A to A. You're like, Cullen Skink. It's an amazing name. See, is it a fish? I don't know what I don't know what I call it. I know if I totally heard the name. Grandma's soup. We're talking about Brazil. Why have you managed to make it somehow feel like there's some? It's like it's not Grandma's soup in inverted commas. It's literally the soup that your grandma makes. I don't know. The Westbury's original could probably flog them from a pit. Yeah, you probably could. Yes. No, there's so. I've only just read the very first bit. What's quite good is because it says for idiots. The thing that see at the end of the chapter, it says what you will know, what you should know now that you've just read this chapter. So you look at it and you go up here. All right, I know these things. I don't need to read this chapter. It's quite good. Poached haddock, right? Yeah. I've not really thought about it. I have heard about it, but I don't know. There's some words that go together, And fish and soup, just for me, is like, I don't know why. I don't know why fish soup. Just the thought of it is like, I don't know. I'm sure it's lovely, but it's already it's fighting an uphill battle because I just don't like the idea of fish soup. Mind you, I'm not really that keen on fish anything. I like a fish supper, but that doesn't really count, does it? Oh. I'm gonna have to be on the fireball soon. Oh, in fact, I can move it. I can put my drink there. Oh, what am I doing? Hate my Westbury. The pickup's worth it. I paid too much. You don't like it? Haddock poached in milk with potatoes and fresh parsley. My mum used to make haddock milk when it became like. We used to get fish in milk. It was kind of yellow fish, and then you got like milk and like slices of buttered bread in the milk to soak it up. Fish and pantyhose, yes. Mr. Whitestick, have you ever listened to Electric Six? I suggest you just get the first album and listen to that. There's a lot of that you'll like the lyrical content. I was born a prisoner in your dungeon of fish. Oh yeah, and such things. Like I was listening to it the other day. Very good. Seabase, yeah. I should really do that. I don't know why I've not done a video called Seabase. I should really take the bass and play it in the sea. Yes, definitely a good idea. Yeah. Clam chowder. That I've never smelt it. I don't think I've ever even seen it. No, it sounds chowder. Chowder sounds like being sick and powder. It's got chowder is something I imagine you add water to. Do you know what I mean? No, I don't fancy it. Red Snapper or Westbury Deluxe. That's the expense. That's just poached fish and milk. The soup's a lot more complex. All right. You don't use dyed haddock for starters, as the soup should be white. Okay, I don't know. I knew you would be Mr. Whitestick. Yeah, I saw them at Download, and wow, was I partying. No one else was, but I was giving it. I was the full on. It's dead easy. I was doing the full. Yeah, the full Saturday night fever routine on my own, just kind of like in the crowd, just like there we go. Yeah, that was amazing. I was never blown away by the Westbury either, Sloaney, for some reason. I don't know why. It felt a bit flat. Scallops and garlic sauce. I don't know if I've never. Maybe a wee bit of fear of fish. I don't know. Are you still air frying? Yes, I air fried a couple of rolls and sausage this morning. Yes. Westbury Standard looks great, feels awful, sounds like shite. Wow. Next time, you don't really drive past me. Next time, you should fucking drop off some guitars for me, see if I can get them to work, because it's like, looks great, feels awful, and sounds like shite. If you didn't like how it looks, I totally get that, but it should feel amazing, and it should sound amazing. AX packs, Cullen Scants, yep. No, we've already got new ones, but it's poached undercrackers. I quite like that, but it was with the new word tonight, X-Paps. Hello, is scanties, which are the female version of scants. And it was tonight that I realised that even though I did know that obviously scants have skid marks on them, that's where the ski comes from skid mark pants. Amazing, eh? So obvious. Scallops and black pudding. Joan Jett still rocks at the Hill 2 Academy. I saw a wee bit of Joan Jett supporting Alice Cooper. I was just doing the... When we walked in... I can't believe how that's basically... I've never ever even tried to play that song before. I can't be that difficult. Oh. Does the air fryer cause oil to mist up the wall behind it? I don't know. I've never cleaned the wall or looked at the wall. Just pretend it's not happening. The standard looks like that deluxe apart from the bridge. There's 3 in there. I've a pal, a guy who used to live in Milton a Cab. See, Seth, he had 2 of them. There's the standard and deluxe, and the custom. There was 3 versions of it. Yeah, there's a standard, deluxe, and custom, and there's a base. The base has, see the scratch plate you get in the base. You know when you see a guitar, you often see it with West Tone Thunders, where they've got, at some point the guitars had, you know, when it doesn't have a scratch plate. And what used to happen was if you dropped the guitar, the volume control would get punched through the top of the guitar, so there would be like a big, you know, ragged hole where the volume control or the input jack had been smashed into it. So somebody made a bit of, or they got somebody, this is because it was in the back in the 70s, they got somebody from the iron foundry to cut a piece of metal and polish it up as a sort of patch. That's what the scratch plate on the Westbury bass, it looks like somebody's made that to hide the fact that there was pickups were changed or something, and it looks like somebody's botched it. It's like, oh, I bought this for a tenner, I fucking put this bit of plastic in the middle so you can't hide the damage. A shame plate. It's all original Bigsby, only thing is black, it's covered in stickers, gonna leave it so. Hey, Kit Kats! Everyone was, well, somebody said, where's Kit Kats? Phrygian? Speak of the devil. But been playing this in the kitchen. Nice having a trem. Hey Andrew, how's it going? I think I probably didn't. I didn't reply to you. Something happened. I did reply to you, didn't get back to you. I can't remember. Yeah, but definitely need to come over. I'll just say the same again. Yes, but just turn up, it'll be fine. I do have to go. I'm going to go to the dentist one day. Keep the pickups. Did you? I know. It's sorry. As long as you don't think I'm dinging you, I'm totally not. It's just your timing seems to be just bad. It's like one of those ones like, I reply to the answer, and it's like 9:30, and then you reply at 10 o'clock. But at that point, I've gone to bed, or I'm in the studio, and it's like, and I forget. I don't know what you're talking about, Kit Kats, because the only pointy silver guitar I've got is the fucking unbelievably awesome West Tone Raider. So I don't know. I can't be my thumbnail. The thing about the pickups is it's like, dude, well, I suppose you can't get them now on Temu. These pickups. Where's the guitar that's got? I've got fucking what's got actual DiMarzios in it? That does. That's quite a different guitar though. It's a different scale. What else did I put DiMarzios in? I know I've got 3 original DiMarzios. The Raider. That Raider. But I'll bear with me. I'll go and get it because I can do the DiMarzio test because it is full scale. It's got a 2-point Strat trem and it's got a DiMarzio, a real DiMarzio on the bridge. The strings are rolled on it as well, so it should be fine. As long as my van is fixed before the 20th of July, I'll drop some guitars off, so I'll be driving up to Kinross. Gary Moore. Gary Moore's one of your Dougs, isn't it? Yeah, tell him. Did you ever any of the Geiker? Have they ended or just? I've seen a few things. You can still get Geiker stuff. Andrew, if anyone's missed the start here, if you go on Temu, they've no longer got guitar pickups, and apparently it's the same as Amazon. There's something happened with these cheap guitar pickups. It's like there's just none. They've got like the ones that are like £30 a set. They've got them, but they don't have any of the invadery ones, all the ones in multicolours that you can pick them up for £6 each and all that. They've all gone. It could be lawsuits, I'm not really sure, but it's just like all of them, because I was going to buy more. I'm just going to buy a fucking bucket of these. I think I paid £6.60 for the set of these. No, £6.60 each, £9 for 2 pickups, and they're fucking... I'm not sure I could tell the difference between this and a DiMarzio. So I'll just play on the bridge pickup of this. That's beyond expensive thing. I wonder what they're doing is, I wonder if, like, see, because they're quite cheap, are they just selling off all their stock so there's no more, right? Complete draw line under it. And they've been building it up right now that there's none available. Here we go, and they're not going to be £6 each anymore. They're going to start at a tenner each, because they're suddenly realising, hold on, people are paying under a tenner for a set of pickups that are pretty much an upgrade to anything. I mean, that black Ibanez RG I've got there, people always upgrade the pickups in that, which is done with that. That had a Seymour Duncan and a PRS pickup in it, or a Seymour Duncan, or whatever it was that was in it. I think, see if they just upgraded with these Temu ones. Because I know what the Infinity ones are like. It's like what was in my... Like, it's that, it's just, you just feel... Is the tone control at full? It just seems to be just a bit... Just a wee bit restrained. And complained. Give me 2 seconds. Because I might find it. The thing is, it's quite easy to find a case for it. I think it might be this one. Which I did actually get a proper fitted case for a tenner on Facebook Marketplace. So it's okay if I bring my guitar and see if it fits, and it's a pure snug as bug as a rug thing. Because obviously you don't get... Also, being a gig bag rather than a square hard case for this baby. Oh. There's no strap on it. What? I don't know. Oh, don't mention the wars. But you started. No, you didn't. You invaded Poland. Yeah. I will let you tune this. So this is a sound test whether this guitar sounds different from this one. And what have they got in common? The necks are both 80s Japanese, although this be a Matsumoku and that be a Fujigen. The bodies are different. The scale length is the same. The need for tuning will be immediate. Oh, right, so how in tune's it going to be? Miles away. Mind you, it's hot. The thing is, see, when strings get old and rusty, they stick in the nut even more. See, I never liked the sound of this guitar. This pickup. I always thought it was the wrong one. I wonder if it's due to the import taxes that came into forced Europe to stop flowing back cheap Chinese tat. It doesn't come into UK until 2028, but for the website purposes, lots have vanished. It could very much be that. I was actually wondering if it was something to do with weight, because pickups are quite heavy, but no, it makes more sense. Yes. Well, the thing is, it's like all the best the real BC Riches, all of the spikes are pointed away from you, which is good. Beat up a potential. I like the way it's like it's just a potential rapist thing. It's just like anybody that you could be a rapist. Fucking, you don't need to do anything or say anything or make any moves. It's just no potential. Not suspected, just potential. I get it. Obviously, I need rap pedal for this because it's a rock metal machine. Okay, it does sound different from that strat. Okay, there is a bit, maybe not quite as similar to the DiMarzio as I was thinking. That seems to be very guitar styling. Like guitar styling 101. It's like, I absolutely adore the split glitter. You're not seeing how glittery this bastard is, but the split thing down the middle is just amazing. I love the dark and the silver. Unfortunately, if you really were to ask me, it comes in 3 colours, and I think this is probably the least good of them. One of them's yellow and orange glitter, and one of them's turquoise and yellow glitter. They only made it for 1 year. It's only got one pickup, and there's a bass. But I sold my Aria Blade Runner because this is just cooler. The Aria Blade Runner wasn't as extreme. It's just... It reminds me of the Cylons, yes. Yeah, done it. Probably more from the modern, but it's definitely got a spaceman thing going on. I don't know, but it's definitely more glam than metal. It's a strat. The glitterati bastard. I do obviously still. I'll never get rid of that 8 string. No, that's pure amazing. I've gigged this. Nah, I'm sorry, I don't need the matching 6 string anymore. Got the black one. If there's any doubts about what this guitar is, that's nothing like it full volume. This guitar is fucking amazing. This is the problem with these things, though. I know these guitars are good, but it's like you pick it out, and even though I've played it lots and I know it's good, suddenly you put it on, and it's like as soon as you start getting it, you get the flow, and you go, yeah. There's a reason I gigged this. It was partly because it looks cool, obviously, but more to it than that. Put on the spandex. No, spandex was special. I was trying out the spandex last night. For a gig where somebody public courtesy, someone would be trying to have a quiet Sunday pint. No, I played in the Vortex in Cumbernauld, and everyone was absolutely blazing drunk, puking in the street, fighting and all that. It was hilarious. The black one's an A20V. Yeah, I mean, the problem is with the whole idea about having the neck through thing, where you've got the same piece of wood that the tuners, so the string's attached to the piece of wood here, and then it goes all the way through the same piece of wood and then goes through a termination block through the same piece of wood. Yeah, totally. Or you can put a Strat trim in, so you basically get your through neck that goes all the way to here, and then you just cut it out to put a wee fucking, and then make it sit on 2 springs. So yeah, I would say fuck your through neck. If it's through neck, I want a hardtail. I'll give you 2 A10s for the A20. Is it heavy? No, it's not. It's the most stage designed guitar ever. It's designed for, literally, you're meant to be in the air. I don't have enough room to. I can't really do the. You know, ideally you want one leg like that and then the other one right out like this while in the air while playing your chords. It weighs absolutely nothing. They're importing guitars from Japan. Go and watch it. I don't know. 2 A10s. Well, you got a blue and a white one. No, I'm sitting there with the problem with that. The blue one was cheaper. I've never seen another blue one, but the white one I bought for very little, but it was all bashed and fucked because I wanted the stage, and then so it took me ages. It took me 2 years to find any stage series that I found acceptable, and then I got that one, and then literally about a month after I put new pickups in it and stuff, I saw the blue one, which was really fucking cheap, and then a couple of months later, I need to talk to my pal Beans, who's got more Washburns than me and lives in Kirky. He was talking about it. I was like, I've got an A. So I was like, you got an A? Wow, I've never seen an A5. Wow, and then he gave me a shot. And he was like, hold on. I'll fix it. As I said, I would sort out the piezo pickup in his guitar. So it was it was an SB21. But the battery was flat. And he's like, maybe so I'll have a look at it, no problem. And then I'll just sell it what I sold it to. So I ended up getting the A5 for what he paid for it 20 years ago, which was like, so I was like, I hope he doesn't say more than like 250. It's like, I think it was 80 quid or something. Yeah. Right, catch you later, Kit Kat. It's a good one. Go and enjoy your crackheads. See, I just don't think that other guitar sounds as good as this one. Cracker's Morris show, apparently. Right, so remember what that sounded like? But again, the thing you've got to remember is, even if they were absolutely identical, the guitars, this one looks like a Strat and that one looks like I'm a fucking alien glam rock space guitarist. Stand back. Even if all the wood's the same and the density's the same and you program it to be identical, and so is this going to sound as ripping as that did? I just don't think it does. It's not bad, actually. I don't think it's quite as heavy, but in saying that, I don't have the pickups on this right up against the strings. I think that's the difference between the two. It's called Unboxing Nearly 2 Tons of Japanese Guitars. Wow. Here's one for you. See the people who don't like Strats, which I used to be one of you. See when it's just got 2 humbuckers in it. The thing that makes it something I don't like isn't there anymore. I now have converted to Strats, but the reason I couldn't do it, I don't know. Rock God guitar beats the mental hospital therapy room guitar. What's the Rock God guitar? Tree of Strife. But JPAC's won, and to be honest, like, see, you can't see because the light's not on, but at this time, the first thing, I was aware of Jen, I'd met her a couple of times. I think I fixed her kitchen and I got that West Tone Thunder offer payment for fixing her kitchen, and I'd talked to her, And then she did a vase, and it was this kind of pattern. It was the first time I'd ever seen art that I liked. Obviously, see the portraits. Yeah, I can scroll it up here. Yeah, well, there's two up there. That is Tony Iommi. It's a really good. It's made up of ripped. It's fucking, yeah, totally. But that's kind of like, that's not an art thing. That's just, does it look good? Is it very obviously, in some ways, it so is him. So for them, yeah, totally. But I'm not really wanting paintings of people from my wall. But I'd never seen like a pattern I really liked. And it was a vase, and there's a head up there, and there's a clock there that were all done the same week, or the week before this guitar, that all looked like this in this colour scheme, and then they never returned. So I'm so glad it's like a wee moment in time. Yeah, but the J-Pack's Tree of Life is also because I've been playing this for a while. I don't know. But again, it depends. It does. You play differently depending on what it looks like. And to be honest, even if when this guitar had the 3 single coils in it, I couldn't play it like this because I didn't think it sounded good. Therefore, I didn't have the. It was this one. Even if you think it's going to sound good, then you play better. It does. I don't know. I do like this guitar though. Now it's like having a new guitar. I keep having getting these brand new guitars. It's like this fucking the last Encore one, and it's like ones that. It's like I've just picked them up for fuck all. It's been sitting there. It's not a new guitar. I never really played it because there was something not quite right with it, and I keep making it in, and it doesn't make my guitar collection any less. It just makes me have more guitars. It's like one that I should have just put in the bin, like that Encore. I should have just left that. Do you shield all your guitars? Not normally, no. That's what, but I don't. The Temu rat pedal is really bad, and also standing right in front of a TV like I am. The TV's only, that's me 3/4 of the way to the webcam. It's very. If I'm not standing looking at the TV, there's no noise. So, yeah. If you're wondering why it's. It doesn't scream. It doesn't. Yeah. When you stand like a well, yeah, but there has to be parts of that, yes. It's necessary to avoid personal incident. You stand like this for a better, more less likely to fall over and stab yourself in the leg with one of the points. Yeah. But no, I don't. But the thing is, I don't really gig and I don't use that many effects. So okay, you're sitting there going, "I could fucking noisy as fuck." But yeah, that's because I'm standing right in front of the telly. Really, I should be standing further back and zoom in the camera, but I can't be bothered doing that. It's not as noisy if I use the expensive pedal. All my guitars sound shite. So I think it's not the guitar's fault. It's a problem, isn't it? It's like, do you tune them? Strap on as if I was maybe I don't know, but it's like I have to. I don't know. The funny thing about the Strat things, I'm not. But like the all white Strat, yeah, and with the maple, and then maybe I don't know. You can't have all the guitars, although. Kind of proves you kind of can have all the guitars. That's me out of booze. Do you reckon you can pause? Can you drink Fireball with coconut? Have I got any coke left? A wee tiny bit. I'll kind of half and half it. This will be my last drink. Well, it's still half an hour. This is going to last me. Okay. Totally shouldn't have given me a whole bottle of that for wiring his bass though. But that was actually why I was talking about his is a Fender Japan 1987 bass, and the pots in it were pish. I'm actually starting to wonder. See, when I bought my Photo Flame Strat, I took the pickups out and went, oh, fucking cheap shite pickups. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. They were definitely upgraded. They were definitely. It was a modern set. Fireball after vodka, but that's you're mixing the same things together, aren't you? Is that a bad thing? I bought Copper Roll from Temu, and I'm shielding the Temu Telly body, and yes, it's a bit of a pain, but it was cheap, and it's my first build, so it's kind of like, I say, yeah, go for it, Bixby, no, totally. Yes, when I say, I think the question, do you shield all your guitars? No. Have you shielded some of them? Yeah, totally. I think I might have even shielded that one. But the thing is, it's kind of... Because I got a roll of that tape in it, as you say, it's not expensive. It's a couple of quid. So what you find is you what I did was I bought the roll of tape and then I did the thing that I needed to shield, and then it's just sitting there, and it's like you can just sit there and just like kind of, I might as well just go, full Faraday cage, and it's quite a sort of therapeutic thing to do. I quite like doing it. Yeah, so Fireball is a cinnamon whiskey liqueur. Yeah, but whiskey and vodka are both... Oh, it's not nearly as bad when you put Coke in it. Mind you, I do feel a bit steaming already. I'm also... This bridge might make a big difference as well. It's feeling very secure. Actually, I saw a thing just a couple of weeks ago in Fireball before. I randomly get bought that by my pal. And they were selling it in petrol stations in America. I noticed they were selling it when we were in Pennsylvania. You could buy like a 12-pack of wee Red Bull can size of... Was it Monster? I think it was Monster. But it was Monster with booze in it. It was like 7% alcohol, and you could buy it in petrol stations. Fucking mental. It's 33%. Yeah, but there's also a thing you get where you get Fireball, and it's the same bottle, but you get it in like a wee plastic shot bottle thing, but it's only 13%, and it's Fireball. And people think, oh, get a couple of them as shots and stuff like that, and they would get it, but it's actually just apple wine or something like that with the Fireball cinnamon in it, and there was a big hullabaloo about it because they weren't allowed to call it whiskey, but this is the original stuff, so it is actually allowed to use... Oh no, see, it's not. It's not whiskey. It's cinnamon and whiskey flavour liqueur. See, it's just like, just look at the words. It's whiskey flavour. Mind you, vodka definitely made of potato peelings. You're making... Oh, stunt. All right. That's an ST. That reminds me of one of my favourite Ricky Fulton sketches. He's in wiping his bed, his wife's reading a letter. So is it that? Ricky, is that pure? Is that an O or an I? And is that, the letter, and is that? It's an O. It's that, oh my God, my brother shot himself. Yeah. But I like the idea of stunt guitars. I have an idea for a guitar. It's really silly. I don't know whether I should tell you about it before I do it. Mind you, according to that guy who was trying to sell me fucking things, it's like there's not that many people on, so I'll tell you. It's basically a guitar that, see inside the frame of the bike, like with the seat coming down there, one that's basically cut to fit inside the frame, so it'll actually attach inside the frame and clip on, and then there'll be a bungee cord holding it onto where the handlebars are, and it'll be inside the... I quite fancy doing that. To be honest, one of the reasons I haven't done it is if I do that, I will have another guitar. Which is a danger when you buy these things, you see them. Is that just the slash go? I don't know. I was actually met the guy who was this morning. The guy who lives upstairs. He's like, oh, is that pure? Is that pure? I saw you the other night. Was that pure? Pretty good in the guitar, not playing Sweet Child of Mine and all that. And I was like, I didn't want you to just go. There's no fucking way I was playing Guns N' Roses. No, you didn't. You never heard it. It must have been something in the same key. I didn't bother doing that. I think a lot of people are very, oh, aye, what kind of music is it? It's kind of like Guns N' Roses, which means an electric guitar that's playing solos. Slash, Guns N' Roses invented that. There you go. Rather than techno or Oasis. I saw a Liam Gallagher t-shirt the other day. If it had been a no Gallagher, I would have bought it. and then wipe my ass with it. I think these pickups sound great, but now I've got a humbucker in the neck as well. But I need to buy three-way switches. Somebody contacted me, was it just last week? Because I mentioned the, converting a five-way switch into a three-way switch. I did a video a couple of years ago, and the guy called me, goes, up here, yeah, I don't know if it's one of you, no, it wasn't a name I knew well, but so up here, yeah, I did it. I saw your video when you did this a couple of years ago, and I did the same thing, fucking great ideas, done it a couple of times since, and then a couple of weeks ago he tried to do it, took the switch to bits, and it just didn't have the wee notches for the 3 on the other side, the 5 on one side, but it didn't have anything on the other. I was like, oh, that's shit, man, I've done hundreds, I've never come across that. So for this guitar, I tried to convert this switch. This is exactly what the problem was, and I tried to, the other one I had, I found the 5-way switch I had, I couldn't get the wee tabs off. It was a wee bit malformed, so I couldn't take it to bits. So I was round at Jen's house last week, and I pinched one from, I'm going to steal this from your parts drawer, took it home, and it was the same fucking thing. So this is currently running as a 5-way switch, so you've got position 1, middle position, position 3. So, yeah. Hey Scott, how's it going? You are a wee bit late. I'll stay on a wee bit longer. I need to buy more 3-position switches though. That's the trick. But to be honest, it doesn't really make that much difference. It's probably a wee bit cheaper just having the 3. Split mine is total circuit board. It's just like, the thing is that you can wire it up. Is it really that different? So basically, I've got this. What I wanted it to be was humbucker, Dave Gilmore humbucker. So if the switch is in either of the 3 middle positions, it's the Gilmore switch. So you've got humbucker, and then it doesn't matter which one of these 3 you choose, and then the last one. So it's maybe not that annoying. And this has got a tone control in it as well. What's the difference between, was Aftershock not that exact flavour as well? I remember taking Aftershock to Ozfest 98, and it was all we had to drink. Aftershock with a straw. I can't remember how I bought it. I'll just take very small sips. What other songs did I not play at thing? The Gilmore is one called Meets Pickups. Oh, my calling it that is because Dave Gilmore used to have a switch that basically on a Strat locked on the neck pickup, which meant you could get the bridge and the neck together. So in this one, I'm getting the bridge and the neck together, but single coil. So yeah. Aftershock original is cinnamon flavoured, but only 30%, so it's actually stronger than Aftershock. Why has this just suddenly got quiet? I feel like I've broken something. Yeah. Yeah, apart from the colour of the bottle, that's the biggest difference between that and Aftershock. But I get the fun, having a round of shots with your pals. I suppose, if I was a drinker. I'll just diatonic play the next. We'll play the diatonic note. I know what the word diatonic means now as well. Mix red and blue Aftershock, you get purple haze. Reckon for necking the most of them in the old rock garden in Glasgow without being sick. Well, I mean, very impressed. Very impressed. I used to drink a thing called a Green Monster, and it would last all night, and it would definitely be sick. I think it was it Blue Balls? I can't even remember. It was like £6 back in the day though, when it was a pint was £1.20. I don't know. I would just get the point of, I think the whole drinking thing. Okay, I'm quite enjoying having a wee half drink tonight. And like last week, I just got steaming. It's like you get carried away. I just got steaming and then just went, oh, fuck it, what am I talking about? First time I nearly fell over, I just ended the stream. And then anything that happens in the live stream stays in the live stream, and they'll all get pulled eventually. Call that the pole dancer. Yeah, I would think Mr. Alex is either the chances either she says she used to be a pub landlord, but really just a mad Jake, skankies, scants, with scanties. It's like some people have never heard the word. Some people live the scanty dream. Yes, you could be scantily clad, but that's not scants. So scant could be scantily. It's just different from scantily. It's a K in scants, isn't it? Have we decided that? Oh, I can't remember. Aye, scants doesn't. Aye, that's why it's a K and not a C. It's not to do with scantily clad, because you could obviously be scantily clad and have briefs on, small pants. No, with a K in it, skid marks. Fully lost interest. It's on the sauce to survive the other drink. Well, that's the problem. 6 square sausage, but that is the problem, Andrew. It's like it, and I'm not sure that was not why I always used to drink, so that you don't get really pissed off with everyone else who's drunk and annoying. You get it at gigs when suddenly, especially at gigs, because you've got the half hour, the 45 minutes or the hour or whatever where you're actually concentrating on something in a wee world of your own, and then you go back to all the people that you were talking to for an hour, and in that hour you've been concentrating and working and rocking and the emotional journey with the gig and it just feeling great, and then you come out and talk to everyone and suddenly it's like, and you're like, literally only, I know it was 45 minutes ago, it only seems 10 minutes ago and you were fucking human. Mental. There you go. That's like Purple Haze. I've never heard of it, but it's really good. Jim Pure. Bit drinking months ago, so it's so fun. Next fucking after the end gig, come and get a drink, right? I don't drink alone either. That's how I got round it, by having the live stream, because I'm not alone. It's good for talking pish. You know what I mean? If you actually want to talk when no one else gets a chance, it's great. It means I can get things out. So it's when you sit with other drunk people, and it's like you start and then they just go haha, and then they just tell what they wanted to talk. They've not been listening to you for the last 5 minutes. I'm not scantily clad. My nuts are just hanging out. Quite nice, yeah. Oh, Bigsby, Primus are playing the Barrowlands. Are they? When are Primus playing the Barrowlands? I'll go and fucking see Primus. Aye, fucking yeah. I've got contacts. I might be able to get into that gig. That'd be Primus though. I mean, it's one of those things. Primus are a band that I'm a bass player. I only know a couple of songs, but I would love to. I think it would be absolutely horrible. I want to go to that. I want to go there. Brilliant being sober and surrounded by drunk folk, you hear all their secrets. Sort of, I don't know. It's like, if you're the only person though, I don't know, it's like that period why I never used to like going to pubs. It wasn't, okay, there was part of the element of it was expensive and I didn't really like the having to shout over the music and stuff like that, but it was just the getting drunk thing where you just get really drunk and you just go, yeah. And that's basically all you say for a few hours. It's like, I like the drunk when you're doing stupid stuff. Oh, but I can't believe you got so drunk and climbed that tree. Yes, I did do that. But that's not, I can't believe you got so drunk and you just sat there and told me the same thing over and over again, never listened to anything. Like, it's less good. Tuesday the 18th August, right, Bigsby, I'll see you at the gig. Remind me when, I'm going to write that on the wall somewhere. I'm going to try and go to that gig. And I'll meet you at Blitzkrieg before it or something like that. Yeah, but home drinkers or not, I don't know. Yeah, but the thing is that's the difference you get. There's different ways of not drinking. I mean, I'm not saying I was some of my pals turned out to be, but or were, but I would drink every weekend, every Friday, Saturday night, and then it kind of moved to I used to drink a bottle of Monday, Wednesday when Game of Thrones was on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, every week, and it's like I didn't drink any the rest of the time, and it was only a bottle of Bucky, which was bad, but I can't remember what my point is because I'm drinking. But yeah, some people just don't drink. It's like cigs, the bins go out more than I do. Gigs, I thought I said cigs. Of course it could, but slowly, like once you get to a certain age, the bins go out more than all of us do, really. Although I used to, you think, but the girl who worked in the co-op, Gravy Girl, and when I was in Milton Campsie, she was, I don't know, maybe a wee bit younger than me, in her 40s anyway. And she was talking, I was like, pure, blah, blah. I can't remember what we were talking about, well, I'm pure knacker. And she was like, pure, oh, yeah. I was like, I like sitting, she used to sit, like, sort of, sit, you know, a glass of wine and listen to, if I could watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly or something like that. And on a Saturday night rather than go out partying, and I was like, pure, we're just getting old. And she looked really, she was like, pure. She didn't say anything, but it was just like that kind of, oh shit. It's like when that wee girl said to me when I was out on the bike the other day when I went past, and she's like, pure, look at that cool old guy. It does fucking hurt. But at least, I mean, the guy was only fucking, I don't know, that height. I don't know, how old's that? 8 or something? I don't know, but fuck's sake. Hey, Shaky Boys, yeah, I'm doing good. Muse. £150. Do you say you were, incredibly salty? Yeah, it's like £150 is a lot of money for a gig, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, Muse is your big thing, but the thing is, you've seen them, and well, it's like, why'd you do that? Because you can. And it's like, yeah, I don't know, but I mean, it's like at least, I don't know how it works. It's just that who was it? Someone who was going to go and see Paul McCartney in America, and it was like $400 to be on the pit, and you're just like, it gets a bit mental. But the thing is, that see, the first big, well, it's just my first gig was freaking Primal Scream. My second gig was a band called Fred in a pub about a week after Primal Scream. It was the first time I'd ever seen a live drum kit in a pub. It was fucking amazing. They were terrible, and then after that. And that was sort of maybe January or something like that, and then sort of April, May, June maybe, it was Page and Plant on the Wednesday, and then the Saturday we went down to London to see the Stones, and that was a big event. And if it was £150 to go to London to see the Stones at Wembley, I don't think that's bad on the pitch. But not to just go and see, and also the Stones hadn't toured for 10 years, no, they're going to die. You know, it was a fucking event. I just don't think a Muse gig is that level of event. Or anything beyond, something silly. Let's put it as a Delirium band, never heard it. Gigs should be accessible as a cultural experience. The live is so important. It shouldn't be a gatekept luxury for the rich. The problem I know about is how do you get to play. The thing is, I mean, that's why I like Download. I mean, okay, it is £300 or something like that, or whatever it is for 3 days, but that's £100 a day. I'm seeing, even if we get pure steaming 3 or 4 bands a day. So it comes down to £20 and we're not. I'm seeing 30 bands for my £300. I'm paying a tenner for each of those bands. Some of them are awful, some of them are brilliant, some of them are meh. You just don't know. You purely go by the name of the band. Pussy Liquor turned out not to be very good. That's by Liquor. And I thought that sounds quite funny. They're going to be like Steel Panther, but no, they were like sort of punk lesbians, but they were really shite. Like I watched 10 seconds of a video, and they were just kind of like, they were really bad. Bad pub. I got AC/DC, Megadeth, and Queen of the Stone Age in 2001 for £30 at Milton Keynes. That doesn't seem to be... Mind you, I think... So I'm going... 1998, it's only 3 years before that, I saw Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Foo Fighters, Megadeth, Pantera, Sepultura, Slayer, I can't remember, but Ozfest basically, and it was 3 years before that, it was kind of that sort of money, 30 odd quid for the ticket for Ozfest to see Black Sabbath, who haven't played forever, and Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah. Divorced recently, or the steep rise prices. The fact that you have not sell out on pre-sale, but I think it's like, where it comes in. I remember it was at the Paul McCartney gig. The tickets for that were fucking skyrocketingly super expensive, but the back of the place was empty, and it's like so say, I don't know, like 30% of the stadium's empty. I think you just fucking lower the price by 30%, or do what they did at that Bon Jovi gig I was at, where it was up here. I remember a peg. I got you a ticket to see a gig. Like, oh, did you? Is that Bon Jovi at Hampden? Like, oh, did you? You can see him just in his head going like that. Like, fuck's sake! I mean, a Bon Jovi, really? I don't like that. And I was like, up here. Aye, right at the back, it's 12 quid. And he was like, oh, all right, well, 12 quid at Hampden, really? Right at the fucking back. It was brilliant. We got absolutely steaming, and I basically walked in, bought a Coke, downed it because it was thirsty, poured my entire bottle of bucket into that, and then drank that. It was fucking great. But there should be more of that. You should be able to sit right at the back where it's shit for cheap. Maybe not 12 quid, but 20 quid. Go and see fucking Muse, but you've got to sit on the shit seats at the back that no one ever sits in, and it's 20 quid. Nah, that's fine. No, I mean, I've never been that mad for going to gigs just because it's too difficult. I love the idea about it, but I mean, Alex there's really, you've seen more gigs than I have in the last. You've seen more gigs this year than I've seen the last 10 years, you know what I mean? 40, 60 for the Barras Academy, really, at least 70, 90 for the Hydro. It was woefully priced over. The thing that comes in as well, it's like with the Barras thing, it's not that I can get free tickets, but I think I can get free tickets. It's like, I feel bad getting them off Tony. I was like, what was it we went to? It was Mr. Big. Oh, yes, you can get me tickets for Mr. Big. It's like, yeah, no problem at all. It's happier. I get one, a plus one and all. It's happier. It's like, so you got something to go with you? I was like, happier. Yeah, I'm going to take Jen. And he was up here. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, totally. No, I'll get you that. And it was like, what he really wanted me to say was, no. And it's like, I'll come well. I was like, oh no. I felt a bit bad about that. So I can get a ticket for me, but I might have to go with Tony. But I just quite fancy Primus. But I mean, again, the Barras gigs were okay. 40, I suppose, probably 40 plus booking fee. I'm sure Mr. Big was like 30 quid or something. You know, you're able to do gigs for 30 quid. So how come some are 100? Do you know what I mean? A full weekend in '96 was £50. Really? Was it as little as that? Probably, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you were talking, if you were spending three figures on a gig or in anything, it was a festival. I don't think it was really possible to spend three figures on a gig up until relatively recently. You know, maybe you could get like, I don't know, the fucking box. You know what I mean? Or did the Stones not have bits where you could actually sit on the stage for 300 quid? Do you know what I mean? But I mean, fair enough, but not for normal people. And this whole thing about, I just feel the front rows. I remember, who was it? It was Tom Petty and someone else. We don't start the fight. Billy Joel. And basically they, for every gig they did, they wouldn't let the Ticketmaster sell the front three rows of the gig. They wouldn't let them sell those things. So basically the whole gig could sell, but you could not buy the front three rows. And basically whoever was at the door first, the first 100 people in the queue for the venue to open, we had like, up here, oh, where's your ticket? Right, no, here you go, front row, because they wanted the people, if you look out at the crowd, you want the people at the front to be loving it, not the people at the front to have got corporate tickets to be sitting there not really interested talking, which is what happened to Elton John, which is why Elton John kept winking at me and giving me the thumbs up whenever they were about to do a heavy guitar solo. Because you're looking out, it's just the people in front of us are like, you know, spent most of the time at the bar and all that because Daddy'd got a corporate gig. Ah, fucking pish. I paid £9 to see Ozzy Osbourne at the Barras. Yeah, the Great Reset in full effect. GTA no disc. Nothing and be happy. Yeah. AC/DC at Apollo 1981 was £4. It's ridiculous. How much did an album cost, Alex? Just out of interest, how much would say 1981? How much did Back in Black cost on vinyl? This is not just generally. How much would you have been expected to pay for a vinyl record in 1981 from HMV or whatever? Because obviously you can't buy. Well, do people buy records? I don't know. So I was listening to records last night and really enjoying it. I've got the extended version of Holding Out for a Hero with the arpeggiator. Dun, 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 dun. It was like fucking whoa, amazing. The good old days, the bands that would make most of the money from t-shirt sales. No, that's now. Apparently that's download. Because that was it last year. There was a few bands that were on. Not that many people. I think they've been warned about it, talking about, Palestine, which obviously is very obvious which side we should all be on, but we're not talking about that. And they would mention it, and there's an app here, like, we're fucking told not to mention this, but there's an app here. Basically, if you can buy as a t-shirt, because that's the only money we get for playing here, and it's like, and we don't give a fuck, we're going to say this about politics because we're getting fuck all money anyway, so basically we're here for you guys that are here to see us. Rod Stewart at Ibrox, wow, £9. Was Rod Stewart is he not very famously a huge Celtic fan, and he played at Ibrox? Fair enough. Vinyl copies of the new Muse album. I know, but the thing is that, they are cool, I get it. I've seen some of the records you've got with the, like fucking holograms on them in one groove. I remember my pal had Super Furry Animals were very early. This is 20 years ago. You'd buy their records and they were really fucking about with the format. I didn't really like the music, but they had ones that played from the inside out. The vinyl played from the inside out, and there was one that was just a loop, so there was only one groove on the record, like kind of in the middle. It just went and shit like that. And there was ones where I used to have a Monty Python record that did this as well. It was like there was more than one groove. I used to get horse racing records, so it was like 6 horses, so there'd be 6 grooves on this record. So you would just fling it on, and then whatever the commentary was at the end, it would be 6 different winners, depending on which of the 6 tracks you happen to jump into. So I started buying records in 1991 because I couldn't afford $12.99 CDs, and LPs were cheaper. Now those records are a fortune. Yes, I remember. So you're talking about, and at about 1991, you're talking about a record being what, $7.99? I think I remember tapes and records. No, you're saying 1991. I remember buying Bad on cassette, and I think it was maybe $5.99 for the tape, $7.99 for the record, and the CD would have been, as you say, £12. Look at the Apollo, the Arches, O2, ABC, Strathclyde Union. Strathclyde Union gone, yeah. School of Art's gone, of course. The Plaza, 13th Note. Well, that's it, yeah. Yeah, I don't. The kids listen to music, but they just the Strathclyde Union was fucking amazing. I love playing in there. I've probably done more gigs in there than anywhere else. That and the 13th Note as well. The 13th Note, see if they just had fucking smaller speakers, that place would have been amazing. It was brilliant. The only problem was the PA. The fucking room was about the size of this room, but longer. And there was a pillar, and then the PA speakers were like fucking. There was more PA speaker in the gap of the stage than there was gap in the stage. See if you just put smaller speakers in, like half the size of the speaker, so instead of being, 4 feet wide, they were 2 feet wide. It would have doubled the amount of people you could see at the gig, because the whole time you were behind this PA and you had to kind of step out and see if there was anybody there. It was terrible. New vinyl these days is about $27.30. Yeah, totally double. Well, yeah, totally, yeah. But I mean, the thing is, I paid £40 for Judas Priest Nostradamus. They always did. But records were never. I don't know. They were the luxury thing. Started buying records and tapes in the mid '80s, and even Littlewoods and Boots and music department. So yeah, totally. I used to go in. It was Woolworths. I bought my and John Menzies when I bought. It was tapes and shit like that. All the AC/DC Australian imports in Edinburgh for £4. Wow, there you go. Was that in what was the I can't remember what the thing was called. There you go. Yes, there will be. My record player needs, it will be, yes. See how old I am? I remember going to... so I was getting into records, so we're talking, I was probably, I don't know, 18, 20, something like that, and I had my hi-fi. It was a Panasonic thing, so you know your record player's that wide. So you've got the record player with a plastic top. Well, this one was this wide, right? And it had a tape deck as well in below the lid. So you opened the lid up and you had a top-loaded tape deck, and then the radio ran all along the front. It was cool as fuck. And the needle in it was broke. And I think there was actually a sticker on the bottom of the needle saying what it was. And I went down to Conlon's fridge repair shop in Kirky Main Street, and this must be 20 years ago or whatever it was. I was like, I'm looking for a record player needle, and the guy's like, what? And over on the wall, there was a thing that no one had touched in 20 years. It was like a rack with all the different record player needles on it. And there was 4 record player needles. There was 3 of that one and 1 of that one, and then lots of blank spaces. That actual thing, I bet you'd get 50 quid for that. The display unit from the 80s, and one of the fucking needles was the one that I wanted. And it was like, yeah, wow. Used to be at Strathclyde Union every Thursday night from 1999 to 2001. Did you? See, every Thursday night in about 1999 to 2001, me and my pal G went to Strathclyde Union every Thursday night because there was bands on in the Cavern Bar. Do you know me? Do we know each other? I was like, you did kind of look familiar when I saw it. It was like as soon as I saw that gig, even though it was a bit steaming, it was like, yeah, it was Thursday. It was Thursday night. What was the night when it was like? I'm sure he used to go into Thursday nights. It would always be the Bubble Lounge to watch the bands though, or the Cavern and then the Bubble Lounge. And then you would get pure steaming, and you could get like a pot noodle out of a fucking machine that worked it up. No, we used to be able to do it for a tenner. We'd basically go in and you would get away with it for a tenner if you Jedi'd the train on the way in. Basically, you get on the train, and sometimes the guard didn't come, so you got in free. And then you could go in and you could have 5 pints. And no, even if you had to pay for the train, you could get the train, 5 pints and a hot dog. So me and G used to go in and we'd see 4 or 5 really shit bands, and it would be bit of 5 pints and a hot dog, and it would cost us a tenner each. That might have been a Tuesday or a Wednesday night though. Watching a social... What? Are you just distracted? I was reading that today. Yeah, but you're not going to carry records over the fucking Atlantic. That'd be crazy talk. Don't want to do that. I fucking loved it when Jem was over yesterday. I was like, last night, I was like fucking put on music from inspired by the Snow Goose, and I was almost crying. It's that fucking good because it's amazing. But see, in this world we live in now, it's so rare to actually just hear a nice hi-fi with speakers that are no shit, nothing, just the way it was designed to be listened to and whatever it was. It's like a nice set of speakers, a decent record player, and a nice amp, just in a room with the speakers sitting the right distance apart. It's like so different from listening to it on headphones or on your Bluetooth speaker. Fucking amazing. Steaming every Thursday night. My pals would watch some bands, go up to the dance for a bit, and then go up to the garage, pint of Bacardi Breeze. Right, aye, so I was much more sensible than that. We would have been getting the last train home, definitely. And we never went up to the thing. We would be watch all the bands. When was the acoustic night? When was the open mic night? Would you ever at that? Because we basically fucking ran. I remember going up. I remember playing 12 songs one night, and you got a pint for playing. And we basically just go up to the fucking bar, and it was just me and my pals. Or I know you want to go up and play this, and there was nobody fucking there. And the barman didn't give a fuck. There was only us in the place, and then it would be the same people every week, and we just go up and fucking play things. The first time I ever played drums was trying to play While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and we got about 30 seconds in, and one of the other guys in one of the bands was like, up here, I'll take over like up here. Yay! The tech. Now the records from home here, yeah. I don't know if I would even bother buying the records now. I mean, obviously I couldn't be bothered with that. The thing is that, see, if you were to buy records now, I mean, fair enough if these were all pipe band, but these are not. That's all the... Well, 90% of them are bands that are good. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, there's the occasional... No, classical album and ABBA albums. I'm counting them as shite. There's occasional charity shop numbers, but most of them are fucking... Alright. Was never at open mic night, as my friends and I all like different music. Thursdays had something for everyone as well. As 2 for 1 drinks, okay, that could have been the difference. See, I was just into mad seeing the bands. And getting drunk. I was at Strathclyde Union. When would that be? That would be 1995, 96. So what you say, 99? Maybe I was a wee bit earlier than that. No, it was 2000. No, 2000 I was in the Blind Dug. No, you're too much a youngster, Sloaney. Was it still the Bubble Lounge when you were there? I remember the Bubble Lounge get done up and then not going back again. We also played on level 6 in a band called Carnival, and it was the same place that Black Sabbath had played one time. It was absolutely fucking... The place was rocking. And I remember getting threatened to get chucked out for dangerous dancing. Yep. The Glasgow College of Technologies. That's one of the ones on the other side of the road. The other side of whatever the main road is from thing into it. The Glasgow. You don't really know these. They're sort of funny, like Stowe and Glasgow College of this, the College of that. The Cramps. Well, my pal was mad into the Cramps. I would love to give them a go, but never got there. Alright, so any last requests before I give up? That's 22, and I've done enough. Let's go 98. Couldn't tell the different names of the Strathclyde Union. Just remember sticking to the floor. Yeah. Well, there was different levels though. And when I was there, you got the Barony, which was the pub bit at the bottom where it was 4 pints for a fiver. And then you went up and you got... I think the Cavern was level 7, so you go up and there would be... There was a snooker pool room thing, level. Games room level. There was a sort of posher... There was the one that we played on. With there was the bar you didn't go to. There was like a bar, and then... I don't know, it's fucking mental, yeah. Fucking madness. I just remember being so drunk in there. I remember the last time I ever tried diesel. I got a pint of diesel in there and I puked all over the wall. Yeah, it's Fireball, yeah, but that's what I mean. I'm going to have to stop. I don't have any other booze. We were up and down the stairs. We up and down the stairs. We were, yeah. I was just about to say we. As in, you did get pretty pissed, but and they had like nets and stuff. Remember the nets for all the shit people would put in. Really watch the Stu's Power Reds get pumped by Mexico. Well, I'm in Bigsby, or we're all in there, and you know exactly where I'm from, so you know we'll all be totally right behind England and hoping they lose too. Yeah. Rock on, everyone. Cheers for this. I'm enjoying it. Oh. Got to find the thing that says stop streaming. I don't know. Whoever that she was annoyed about that. Whoever that was, I just heard her upstairs. It was like rubbish. Just It sounds like it's like trying to fucking. What was I trying to do earlier on? I was trying to pick up my jigsaw. Like so you've got a plug on the end of a wire, and you're trying to pull the plug, and you know it's going to get caught at the last second. It was like holding up fucking cardboard boxes that just get caught, and I did. Ugh. The Duke of Wellington statue is a sombrero. All right, okay. Very good. See, I don't know. It's like that whole thing where you get vandalism. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, you get vandalism. Just writing Rangers on the wall, or, fuck you, or whatever. If it's something funny, I kind of... it's like... I will go for the moral thing rather than the technical thing.